I just built a fully automated review system that makes sure you never leave money on the table. Most businesses finish a job, leave an invoice, and never ask for reviews. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build a fully automated review system that runs itself. And the best part, it's completely free. Let's get into it. Before we hop into the live demo and build, I just wanted to quickly go over the importance of reviews. The review problem, why trade businesses are losing customers and how automation fixes it. So first off, the stats don't lie. And this is the power of reviews. So 93% of consumers check reviews before hiring local services. Businesses with four or more stars generate significantly more business, 12 times more leads than their competitors. This is a big one right here. Per negative review left unanswered, a small to medium-sized business will on average lose 30 customers, which that's thousands of dollars. So what are some common mistakes and where most trade businesses fail today? They wait for reviews. They assume happy customers will leave reviews on their own. They get a low response rate. Only 5 to 10% leave reviews without being asked directly, meaning that 90% of their customer base is not leaving reviews. There's no follow-up system. Once the job ends, they move on to the next customer and there's no relationship building. And the inconsistent asking. There's just awkward requests or forgetting entirely. So what's the cost of having no system? Your business gets lost in search results. Competitors with more reviews dominate Google rankings, especially locally. You lose the opportunity at repeat business. Customers forget about you without relationship building. Missing referrals. Satisfied customers aren't spreading the word of your good business. And then ultimately the negative reviews win because there's no positive reviews to balance out the complaints. So what's the winning strategy? What winning businesses do differently? They follow up fast. They reach out within 24 to 48 hours of the job being finished and while the experience is still fresh. They make it easy. One-click review links sent directly to the customer via email or text. And they automate the entire system. They're using software like n8n, Google Sheets, and Gmail, and they just set it up and forget about it. So this results in more reviews, higher rankings, and consistent new business. Now that we went over the importance of reviews, let's hop into the live demo. Okay, so here we are in our n8n instance. This is a super simple system. It's a two-part system, one part being the review follow-up agent, and the second being a mark review submitted, which we will use a webhook node to connect to a small little HTML that I created. So let's quickly start off with part one, how it's going to work. It's going to trigger every single day at 6 p.m. It's going to pull the information from our CRM, which is right here. It's going to filter jobs that haven't been, that 24 hours have passed. It's going to loop through each item, sending them an email, updating the CRM. And once that is all complete, we're going to compile all the information and send a Slack message to notify us that it's been completed. In the second part of this workflow, we're taking a webhook submission form and updating our CRM internally once a review has been submitted. So now let's actually run this thing and see if it works live. So what we're going to do right away, we're just going to go here, execute the workflow, and let's see how it goes. So we're getting the rows from our CRM, we're sending individual emails, and it's updating our CRM. So let's go look at the CRM and see what's happening. So as you guys can see, we have the original job date. It's the follow-ups being sent, and the follow-up sent date is being populated. So all of them are going to be the same just because that's the date today. So let's go see our email now and see if those are actually being sent out. Okay, now that our workflow is finished, we hopped into our email really quick and we can notice that all these emails have been sent. Obviously they're failed to be sent because we have fake emails, but this was our email. Thank you for trusting ProFlow HVAC with your thermostat replace. We hope Marcus took great care of you. We'd love to hear more about your experience. If you have a moment, please leave us a Google review. I didn't have a review site to put in there, so I just put my website, Deep Rooted. And then at the bottom, having any issues with your invoice. So you guys understand the point. The emails have been sent, so we know that that's working. And then finally, we sent the Slack message. So let's go see if that's sent. And as you can see here at 2:44 p.m., we processed 12 customers at this time. And then these were all the customers that were contacted, and that is correct according to our CRM. So awesome. So we know that that worked. We know that everything was updated. So now let's get into the second part of this workflow. All right, sweet. So we're in the second part of the workflow. We're going to work at this mark review submitted. So really, this is already published workflow. So all we have to do is go into here. We'll go to our CRM. We'll take, let's just take job 01. We'll copy that really quick. We will go back to our submission form and we will paste in this. And then let's just click mark submitted. Boom. So our HTML shows us that the review has been marked as submitted. This is the customer and all his information. Then let's just go check our CRM. Boom. Review has been submitted as checked off along with the review date. So Let's go quickly back into n8n. Let's go look at our executions. And then as you can see, it was properly executed all the way through. And this was the original one from the first part. We went through all 12 items, compiled them, and sent us the Slack message. Quickly wanted to throw that in there. You guys will see a little bit of directions on the left. This whole JSON file will be in the description below for you guys to download and to just copy and play around with in your own instances. Now that you guys have seen this live and know that it works, let's hop into the live build and go node by node with deep explanation so you guys can build this for your own businesses. All right, so here we are in our blank n8n workspace. If you guys don't know what n8n is, it's an open source low-code platform that allows you to connect tools and services to help you build automations. If you guys are looking to start your own n8n account, all you need to do is go to the n8n homepage, click on Get Started, fill out your information, and start your own 14-day trial. So before we start building here in n8n, we just need to make sure that we have a couple of things set up. First, we want to make sure we have our CRM. This will be linked in the description, so you guys can just copy and paste it into your Google Drive and work from there. The specific areas we're going to be looking for here is the job date, the job status, and the follow-up send date. Then next, we're just going to need a simple HTML submission form. I'll have mine linked in the description. And then finally, we'll just need to have our Slack workspace set up. All right, so our first node here is going to be our trigger node. We're going to be using an on a schedule trigger node. The only thing we're going to be changing here is the time. So we're going to be changing it to 6 p.m. You guys can honestly change it to whatever time you'd like. I just chose 6 p.m. just because that's when I think people are on their phones the most, and that's when they're actually going to click on a review link and respond to it, and then also post pictures with it, which is what we're looking for here. Once that's done, then you're going to go ahead and just click execute step. You'll see that it worked. Next, we're going to go ahead here and click on our Google Sheets node. Search up Google Sheets here. Click on Google Sheets, go to Get Rows in Sheet, set up your credential. I'm not going to go into how to set up credentials in this video. It's going to drag the video a little bit longer than I intend, but it's super simple. Tons of YouTube videos out there, and I'll link as many as I can in the description to help you out. Resource, we're going to click Sheet Within Document, Operations Get Rows. We're going to click here, go to our ProFlow HVAC CRM, and we're going to select Sheet 1. And then the only other thing we're going to do is we're going to quickly add a filter here. The column we're selecting is Job Status, if I can find it. Oh, Status. And then we're going to go back to our CRM really quick. We're going to click on where it says Job Complete, and then just come up here, copy this, and paste our value in here. And once that is done, you can just go ahead and click execute step, and we should get about 12 results here. Boom, there you go. You see 12 items, and then you could also see 12 items right there. Make sure you click on save your workflow. Always save after every node. And then also just make sure you name all your nodes just so it's easy for explanation purposes. So I'm going to name this one Get Rows from CRM. Cool. And then press save. All right, so once we pull out all the information from our CRM, the next thing we're going to do is add a filter node. And this, we're going to filter out any jobs that have been finished within the past 24 hours. So we don't want to send any review links right after finishing a job. We want to wait a 24-hour period before we send out any reviews, just so the experience is still fresh and they're actually willing to send a review. So what we're going to do here is we're going to select the date, the job date. We're going to drag that into here from our Get Rows, and then we are going to click on is before or equal to through the date. So make sure you're on date and time. Go to is before or equal to. Quickly over here, click on an equal sign to set it to an expression. Sorry, click on, you can make it set it as expression, and then we're going to quickly copy and paste this over. And this is just a simple JSON that tells us, 24 hours before today's date. And then pulls those jobs and filters those through. So as soon as we select that, we should get all 12 jobs, just because in our CRM, these are all is December 30th. So it's the 4th. So clearly 24 hours have passed. And then you could always click on convert types where required. So we execute that step. We kept all 12 items. And if you're wondering where I got this code from, I'm going to link a complete resource guide on how to build this live with me, step by step. It'll be attached as a PDF in the description. Once we set up our filter node, we're then going to set up a loop node. This one you just have to click on the node and press execute step. We don't need to really change anything. We're just going to want to make sure that we are individually processing each one of these customers from our CRM. All right, so next here we're going to we're going to delete that replace me. We are going to actually add our Gmail node. So similar to our Google Sheets node, you're just going to have to make sure your credential is set up. Click on send a message, and then right here we're going to look at a resource. It's going to be message. Operation is send. For the sake of this example, we're just going to use from our CRM. We're going to drag where it says customer email, but we're not going to grab it from the loop over items node. We're going to actually go back and go to our get rows from CRM and pull it from there, just so we keep everything consistent. So as you can see, it'll populate there. And then in our subject, we're just going to go back to our resource guide really quickly. And I'm going to pull in the subject. From there, I'm going to make sure I switch this to expression. We can even open this up. And what you'll notice is that when you copy and paste it from the resource guide, it'll come in as red, but all you guys need to do, we know is that it's the customer name that needs to go here. So you could just delete that really quick, go back to our get rows from CRM and put the customer name right there, and then just make sure you populate your company. So you can we'll just do Pro Flow HVAC. And then once we're done with that, we have our subject, our email type. We're just going to change the text. We're not going to add any HTML. And then similar with the message, we're going to go back to our resource guide, pull in the message template that we have, and then quickly make a couple edits to it. We're going to take the service type. So we'll delete that, go back to our get rows from CRM. We are going to grab the service type, paste it in there, make this look clean here. We'll take out the technician and then just enter in the technician from our CRM. And then all you need to do here is, I'm not going to do it right now, but you could just change this review link to the review link that you have, or your company website where you want them to leave reviews on your web page. After that, we just have the rest of the email, and then just make sure you are changing out all the brackets where it says your company to actually put in the name of your company. For the sake of this example, we're just using Pro Flow HVAC. Cool. So once we're done with that, we have everything set up. The only thing last we're going to go to add option, append n8n attribution, and we're just going to turn that off so our emails don't say that it was sent from n8n. Once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and click on execute step. And then we're going to go to our email inbox and just make sure that's sent as we wanted it to. All right, so here we are in our email. We can see that we sent this email to mikejohnson@email.com. Obviously, it's not going to get delivered because it's not a real email, but we can see here that our full template was pasted in here and it was sent off to Mike Johnson. So we know that that works. So the next node we're going to be adding is just a simple wait node. We're going to wait 2 seconds before updating our CRM after sending that email, just to make sure that our email actually sent and that we could update our CRM without hitting any rate limits. So once that's done, we'll click on execute step. That's done, and then we'll go ahead and set up our next node. Okay, so we're going to go back here and go grab our Google Sheets. We are going to now, instead of get rows, we're going to click on update rows. So now, like I said earlier, we're going to update the 2 rows that we need updated. So we're going to update the status of the job, and then we're going to populate a follow-up sent date. So we're going to go into here, same Google Sheets credential. We're going to go back to our CRM. We're going to click on sheet 1. Right here, it's going to say map column notes, so column to match on. We're actually going to go scroll down here and click on the row number. And then we're going to see that here. Just make sure you flip that to expression. We could actually just open it up, delete this, go back to our get rows from CRM, and then just drag in the row number from there. So now we have that matched, and then we could delete all these. So delete, and then we're going to leave the status of the job and then the follow-up sent date. So for the status of the job, we're going to go back to our CRM. We're going to grab where it says follow-up sent, and we'll quickly change it. Copy and paste where it says follow-up sent. Switch this back. And then for status, we're just going to copy and paste that over. And then for the follow-up sent date, we're going to go back to our resource guide, copy and paste what we have in the document, flip this to expression, boom, switch it. So now we know that it's going to populate this current date. We just put the current date in here. And then once we click on execute step, it should update our CRM. Boom. So it says it was complete. So let's go back to our CRM, take a look. And as you can see, Mike Johnson, who we sent the email to, the follow-up was sent and the follow-up date was populated. So perfect. We know that works. Once that's done, we're going to actually add our Slack summary message. So we're going to use a code node for that. So you'll just click on the done section here. We'll type in code. We're going to write code in JavaScript. And then we're going to quickly open this up. And then from our resource guide, we're going to copy and paste over this line of code. And then once I press execute step, it's going to run through the entire workflow, going through all 12 of our data points. And then once that's done, it's going to create a Slack message. And then once we get that, I'll catch up back with you guys. All right, guys. So one thing as I was editing this video that I noticed, this filter node in the video, it's shown as filter. Just make sure you change it to 24 hours past, because when you copy and paste the code into this code node, you'll notice that up here it says 24 hours past. So if you don't have that changed, the filter won't execute. So just wanted to throw that in there to make sure you guys change that. All right, so that just finished up here. We're going to quickly look at that and we're going to see, all right, so it reviewed our Slack message. We have it right here. Perfect. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to create our last little node here. It's going to be our Slack node. We're going to go down to send a message, and we're going to go to connect our Slack API. It's a resource is a message, operation is send, and then send the message to, we're going to send it to a channel. From list, we're going to click on demo here. Simple text message. We're not going to add anything. And then all we need to do is drag Slack message from our JavaScript or from our code node. We'll have it here. We could pop that up really quick to see what it looks like. We know that that's that. And then all we need to do quickly is name our node as send Slack message. Finish that and then click on execute step. Now let's go look at our Slack and see if that has populated. So here we are on our Slack channel, and as we can see at 12:36, we sent an email, and what I noticed right here is it says automated this with this n8n workflow. The only thing you guys need to do to change that is quickly go back, go to add option, and then include link into workflow, and then just turn it off. So if we press execute step again, we see that it's sent without the automated with this n8n workflow. Super quick fix, and then we are all good. So that is the entire first part of the workflow. Now let's hop into the webhook submission form and getting that all set up. So for the next part of this workflow, we're going to be using our submission form and using a webhook trigger. Just before we get into the actual build, I want to show you guys how to set up this submission form properly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have a link in the description to the HTML file. You guys just need to download it, and when you open it using like Notepad or anything like that, you just need to scroll down to where it says replace this with your n8n webhook, and then it'll say, like right here is mine currently, but it'll say your URL where the webhook URL is. So then from there, all we need to do is set up this webhook trigger, change this path to mark-review1, or change it to whatever you'd like, really, it doesn't matter. We're going to grab this test URL. We're going to go back to our Notepad and then make sure it's in between these parentheses, guys. You're going to copy and paste your webhook there. Then you're going to close out of this and save it. So now when we press listen for test event, we're going to go to our new submission form, and we're going to press mark as submitted. And now we're going to get that the workflow has started, and it's going to pull information. Sorry, I don't know why it's all the way over there. Whoops. We're going to pull it down here. And then all we're going to do for now is pin that data. So that should be a really quick setup on how to do that. Let's get into the next note. All right, guys, so this is actually super funny and very humbling for me. I noticed that in our live build, we had a lot of extra nodes here. That's like the validate input, respond to webhook. Based off on our submission form, it actually prevents us from entering anything other than what we need to enter. So we won't be able to have any errors. So these are actually completely unnecessary, which just makes our build a lot more simple. So we only have 3 nodes to add now. So all we need to do is select our next node, which will be a Google Sheets node. We will get rows from our sheet. Super simple setup. It's actually almost exactly like the one we had in our main workflow. So we'll grab these, we'll add a filter. The column will be the job ID, and then we'll just pull in this job query. And then once that's done, we'll just click on execute step. Then we're going to update our CRM. So we'll go to Google Sheets. We'll click on update row and sheet. We'll select our document, which is our CRM, our sheet one. We'll match each column manually, and we'll match it again on the row number. So now that we have get rows and sheet, we can just delete this 0 here, grab the row number, paste it in there. Then we can delete all these except for 2 of them, which is review submitted, which can just be set to true. And then the review date, which is similar to the nodes we had earlier, but you could grab this from the guide sheet. And we'll just paste this in, change it to expression, and paste this in. Let's just make sure our CRM isn't already updated, which it is. So we'll just unclick these two, clear that, and then we will click on execute step. So that has been complete. So now we see that these have been populated once again. And then the only thing that we have to do left is add our respond to webhook node, which is just going to actually populate our form once we complete it. So not first incoming item, we'll do text. You guys can copy and paste this expression from the reference document. We'll select expression. We can actually open this up. This is what we want the review submitted form to show back. And then we will just add a response code, which will be 200. We're not going to hit execute step here. What we're actually going to do is we will unpin this data, save it, and then we're going to take the production URL, copy and paste it into our HTML. So switch the two URLs in there. So it's not from your test, it's now your production. We are going to publish this workflow. So we're going to go, I'll just put in version 1 for now. We'll publish it. And then now we could just go to our submission form. Let's just type in, for example, job-002. We'll mark this as submitted. Now we see that it's processing, and then we get a success message saying, here's Sarah Williams, job ID, the furnace install, the date marked was the 4th of January. We'll go to our CRM, and we will see that that has been populated. And then if we go here to executions, we can look at our executions, and we will see that everything worked from end to end. So that's it. That's a completely automatic review follow-up system with an internal submission form that your team can use to continue to update your CRM with less of a hassle. One of the best parts is that this automation is actually never finished. You can completely add whatever you want. A couple of things that I would add if I were you guys is I would add a SMS, so Twilio as an SMS to match your email. So sending text notifications as well, just because those are a little bit prominent when someone's looking at their phone and they get that notification. You can add different sequences to different service types, and you can actually add automated review monitoring instead of having an internal submission. If you want help implementing this for your business, or you want something a little bit more custom, feel free to book a call with me. My link is in the description, or visit my website, Deep-Rooted AI. If you want to learn more about AI automation and n8n, check out my friend Nate Reqs. Free school community, AI Automation Society. Join over 200,000 members, learning n8n, the basic foundations, and a great community of people. Also check out Nate's paid school community, AI Automation Society Plus, joining over 3,000 members, building businesses with n8n. Both links are in the description. I come from a background of knowing absolutely nothing about automation, n8n, anything code-based. This is where I started, and I highly recommend it. One of my favorite parts is that everybody is in there willing to help you, and no question is a dumb question. It's a great place for a beginner to get started. So if you guys enjoyed this video and it was helpful, leave a like and subscribe. It would help me out a ton. I'm going to be posting a lot more automations for trade businesses. And if you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next one. Hey, if you're still there, something I want to do at the end of all my videos is pray for you, my audience, and your businesses. Totally understand this might feel a little weird. And to be honest, it quite a bit is. I'm with you. However, I genuinely care about anyone watching this video. I want you guys to genuinely live lives of purpose and know that you have worth and that you are very important in this world, and that if you're beginning your AI automation journey, you're not the only one, and that God is with you. I put this at the end of the video, so if you don't feel comfortable, you can just click off, but I'm going to go ahead and pray for you guys. Heavenly Father, I lift up all the people watching this video today. Lord, please bless them, grant them with peace, and continue to guide their steps, Lord. Lord, protect their hearts and minds and be with them wherever they go. You are our salvation. We thank you. We thank you for this day. And we just pray that during our entrepreneurial journey, we just cling to you, Lord. I pray all these things in the only name that matters, Jesus. Amen. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one.